The 2012 Michigan High School Athletic Association playoffs begin tonight. The Sterling Heights Stevenson Titans and the Lake Orion Dragons. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Corliss with Chris Fritching. It is the postseason, the second season, whatever you want to call it. The playoffs start tonight. And Chris, last time we did a game, which was the Clarkston game, we said, as everybody else believed, we would see Clarkston again. That's not going to happen until the fifth week of the playoffs.
Conceivably, yes. And, you know, you talk about that, and matchup-wise, it's probably a good thing in that, you know, now if Lake Orion wins out based on playoff points, they could host the next three games at home. And, you know, had they been in the bracket with the district with Clarkston, assuming both teams won, you know, Lake Orion would be traveling to Clarkston tonight. But, you know, you can't worry about that. You come out and play who MHSAA puts in front of you. And tonight they're playing Sterling Heights Stevenson.
Stevenson comes in 6-3. A storied program, a couple state finals appearances under legendary coach Rick By. Now Coach Steve Goralski comes in, and he had a little turnaround, and it's been a rough couple of years. In his third season, he brings them into the playoffs.
He brings them into the playoffs, and you know they ended their season on a two-game losing streak. They lost to Utica Eisenhower and Warren Mott, who happened to be on the other side of our bracket in our district. So, you know, they come into the playoffs with a two-game losing streak. But you're right; they are a storied tradition. They've got Lake Orion went to the state finals, I should say, in 2008. You know, Sterling Heights Stevenson lost the next year in the state finals to Catholic Central, and then Lake Orion won in 2010. So, yes, they do have that tradition, and Coach Goralski is looking to bring that storied program back. You know, as far as the matchup, there's not a lot of history between these two teams. However, the last two games that were played within this matchup were outstanding football games. I was a part of one in 2001, and needless to say, the regional finals back in 2008 when Lake Orion kicked a 49-yard field goal to win it at Stevenson. So hopefully it's going to be a game like that tonight.
Coming into the playoffs, right now there are only two undefeated teams in Division I. Is it better for a team now coming in undefeated into the playoffs? Number one, it means you won a league championship. But is there more pressure on a team into the playoffs actually coming in undefeated?
You know, I think so, and obviously it's yet to be determined. But to me, this season is very similar to what happened in 2010. You look back at the way the season folded in the regular season for Lake Orion. That is, Lake Orion also lost their 8th game of the season to Farmington Hills Harrison. They went on to win the state championship. This year, Lake Orion lost their 8th game of the season. And I think that loss during the season allows you as a coaching staff, allows you as a football team to take a step back and look at yourselves and self-scout and see the things you need improvement on. You don't go into the playoffs on this with an inflated head or a big head, so to speak. You're kind of knocked back down to earth, so to speak, and it allows you to reevaluate how you're doing things, what you're doing. And to be honest, I think it's a good thing that they came into the season, into the playoffs, I should say, at 8-1 as opposed to 9-0.
It's the playoffs. After tonight, 16 teams in Division I will turn in their equipment on Monday. Coach Bell always said, we're not going to be one of them. The game's coming up. Stay with us.
Behind every great play in high school sports, behind the scoreboard, is a great story waiting to be told. And now those stories are coming to life every day on the Second Half by MHSAA. The Second Half lets you be a part of the action. Send us your photos, videos, and story ideas. You can also catch up on schedules, scores, and other good stuff happening in high school sports. So start out every day with the Second Half, a new feature of the MHSAA family of websites.
Just prior to kickoff of tonight's pre-district round between the Lake Orion Dragons and the Sterling Heights Stevenson Titans. Stevenson is coached by head coach Steve Goralski. He's in his third season. As we mentioned in pregame, he replaced a legend. Head coach Rick By, who had been at Stevenson practically forever. Coach Goralski's in his third season. Overall, he's 9-18. His first year, Stevenson finished a disappointing 2-7 off a state final appearance, and they were 1-8 in 2011. When I talked to Coach Goralski before the game, he said that 2009 team, which had gone to a state final, was so senior heavy, and there were such losses after that team graduated. Plus, he's trying to bring in a new system. He was building that system almost from the ground up again. This is, of course, Coach Goralski's first playoff appearance with Stevenson. These two teams have met in the regular season twice. In 1989, Lake Orion won, and in 2001, Chris, I think we both remember that game. Stevenson had them beat Lake Orion had them beat until the very end, and then Stevenson won it in the end. They have met once in the playoffs in 2008. You alluded to that in the pregame. Lake Orion won 38-36 with Jeff Heath kicking a 49-yard field goal at the buzzer to win the regional final. Lake Orion, of course, 8-1 this year. Head coach Chris Bell is in his 15th year. His overall record is 126 wins and 40 losses. Playoff record is 19-12. And as we've alluded to, Lake Orion has made the playoffs every year since 2001. Lake Orion was state runner-up in 2008 and Division I champ in 2010. In first-round games since Coach Bell took over in 1988, Lake Orion is 8-5. Sterling Heights Stevenson, of course, plays in the Macomb Area Conference. And as you said, Chris, that's always been a tough conference. In the one they're in with Eisenhower, Dakota, Chippewa Valley, there's some good teams in there.
Yeah, you got the top 5 teams in that conference making the playoffs. I mean, it's pretty impressive. So it's a grind every single week for that for any of those teams in that conference. So we're going to see the results tonight.
As we mentioned in the pregame, 32 teams make the Division I playoffs. The brackets come out that the winner of this game will play the winner of the Warren Mott Utica Eisenhower. You've got the district pairings in front, and as we spoke of in the pregame, there's some tough games coming up in Region 1 and Region 2. Clarkston and Livonia Churchill, the only undefeated teams in Division 1, could play each other in a regional final. Lake Orion ends up in Region 4, District 1, and as we said earlier, we'll play the winner of Warren Mott and Utica Eisenhower. Should the Dragons advance from there, I would say right now with who's in there, their best bet would be to play Macomb, Dakota. But the game would be here, and that's interesting because Lake Orion's never beat Dakota. They played 3 times, and for once we'd have them in our yard. So it was a very interesting brackets this year in Division 1. Band is at the far end of the field. The cheerleaders are at the tunnel. Stevenson is gathered at the north end zone. Little wind tonight, kind of a northeasterly wind. I think it's died down a little bit since it came into the stadium. The flag is not as straight out as it was earlier this evening. Good crowd on hand tonight. They were expecting a good, and there's a few empty seats, but as always, the Dragons always draw good at home. The alumni is here. Saw Don Hoganson before the game tonight, and so it's a playoff atmosphere. You hear the cheer. Coach Bell leads them into the tunnel, and the Dragons take the field. Chris, you've got your keys to the game tonight.
I do, yeah. Coach Bell talks about this all the time with his kids, and basically play fast, play physical, play fun. And number one, I think Lake Orion's got to reestablish that perimeter running game, take advantage of their speed that they've got. They've got to be one of the quickest teams in the state on the perimeter with the skill guys that they have. But that being said, the tight ends, the tackles, the slot receivers got to do a quality job of securing the edge, things we've talked about all year long. I think Clarkston 2 weeks ago, while they're obviously a very good football team, they did a nice job of securing that perimeter and not allowing Lake Orion to get to the edge. Lake Orion had success up the middle between the tackles. So if there's one way to slow down Lake Orion and their diversity in offense, I think that's it, stopping the perimeter. I think if they can establish that perimeter early on, they can go back to that versatility that we talk about. As far as Sterling Heights Stevenson, be one-dimensional. Force them to be one-dimensional, This is probably the most balanced team we've seen in the Lake Orion scene this season. They rush about the same amount as they pass as well, and then play fun. Play fun and have fun out there with this opportunity in the playoffs. It sounds cliche, but one play at a time, one quarter at a time, one drive at a time. But go out there and play fun. There's no pressure on you. Just go out and do what you can do, and the results should take care of themselves.
At this time,
continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. Let us honor and respect their efforts and our country by gentlemen removing their caps. Everyone staying at attention and placing their hands over their hearts as we proudly sing our national anthem.
At this time, band director Michael Steele leads the band in our national anthem.
Band in the Star-Spangled Banner.
We will remind you that the broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Orion Neighborhood Television. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and Orion Neighborhood Television. Chris, I was looking at both sidelines during the national anthem, and Stevenson's team kind of took up 35 yards, and then I looked at Lake Orion, and even, they brought up about 8 players from the JV, but their roster covered 65 yards.
It seems like it has all year long too, but you're right, bringing up those JV kids. I'm sure Stevenson brought up some kids to get that playoff atmosphere, that experience. But that's what makes playoff high school football so great is the ability to grow programs, create traditions, continue to build on traditions, and you're going to see 2 quality programs here tonight.
Jeremy King will kick off. He's not lined up far. It looks like pooch kick time, and it is. So pooch kick down to about the 20, taken by one of the upbacks up over the 30 and brought down about the 32-yard line. That was number 34, and it's going to take me a while to find there we go, Dustin Carlin on the return. So Sterling Heights Stevens takes over on their own 34-yard line. First and 10, just underway in this pre-district game between Sterling Heights Stevenson Titans and the Lake Orion Dragons. Number 9, Tyler Sykes is the quarterback.
7, Kyle Maxon, yep.
Kyle Maxon, okay. Maxon's the quarterback. And Lake Orion jumped, but Maxon looked like he gave a simulated snap the ball. And that's exactly what they're calling false start on the offense. So that'll back them up 5 yards. Try to set the Stevenson offense for you.
Kyle Maxon, their quarterback, is a junior, thrown for about 15 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and thrown just about 57% completion percentage. So a good size kid at 6'1", 172. So
Chris. Number 23, Tyler Bosch is the lone setback. Braxton back to throw over the middle, and upended is number 10, Nick Berner. And number 21, Brandon Clements, on the stop for the Dragons. So that brings up a second down and 15 from the 28-yard line.
Talk about that balance briefly at the outset of the game. They got a nice combination of pass to run plays. I don't know if it's quite 50%, but the statistics yardage-wise almost shows that it's half run, half pass.
Trips to the right, one setback to the left, or one wide out to the left. Braxton back to throw, intends it for number 23, Trevor Botch, and led him a little too far, and it's 3rd and long for Stevenson.
Botch is their running back, their best back out of the backfield. They try to get him on a little swing pass there. He's wide open, and Maxon just let him too much and brings up a 3rd and long.
3rd and long, number 3, Greg McDade splits wide to the left. Number 9, Tyler Sykes, wide right. Braxton throw. He's rolling out, looks, throws, incomplete. That was more of a coverage incompletion than anything else because he just had no place to throw the ball.
You're right. Maxon initially rolls out to his left, sees there's nothing open, and has to come back because he feels pressure on the outside. And he actually, Jonathan Griffin, the fullback, breaks free from Derek Williams for a split second, but again, Maxon leads him a little bit too much, throws the incompletion, forces Stevenson to punt.
So 4th down. Punt gets away by number 20, Nick Mirnick. Takes a good Stevenson bounce down inside the 15, down to probably the 13-yard line, down by number 53, Shane Ciccone. So Dragons will take over 1st and 10 from their own 13-yard line.
Interesting to start for Stevenson to start with 3 consecutive pass plays. They must have seen something they liked, and looking at film all week, they thought they could get Lake Orion on their heels, but nonetheless, they've pinned Lake Orion on their heels based on that punt. Nice punt.
Derek DeLora leads him out. Jacob Miller's lone setback. Cody Esther, lone wide out to the left, and trying to see who is split right. Zach Arnold split right.
That's exactly. Shane Ciccone is the backer that time that makes the play. 6'2", 214, senior. Does a nice job. We talked about establishing the perimeter and making sure the tight ends do a good job on the edge. That time, Ciccone just got inside Chaz Miller and stops Esther for a big time loss.
Yeah, he dropped him, drove him back in the end zone. They marked forward progress on the 6, brings up 2nd and 17. Tight formation for the Dragons. Miller lone setback. Esther in motion. Handoff to Jake. Nope. Ball. Who had the ball? Zach Arnold on the carry up the middle, got maybe a yard.
Little inside trap, and Zach Arnold follows his lead blocker Miller, but you're right. The hole collapsed and got about one, brings up a 3rd and 14.
Sultan Ferranbi on the stop for Eisenhower. Delora back to pass. Looks, he had Chaz Miller, and it hit him right between the 2 and the 0. Brings up a punting situation for the Dragons.
I hate to say this, but that reminds me of the 3rd play of the Lions Monday night game. There was a receiver going over the middle who dropped the ball like that, and that same thing Chaz Miller did on the 3rd play of the game tonight for the Dragons.
As a wide receivers coach, it's got to drive you nuts when you work all week on ball security, catching the ball, and then looking upfield, and then you see that.
That's just it. You look to try to create something, and you got to remember to secure the ball first. You're right.
Brad Schanzer on the punt. Takes a little Lake Orion bounce, still lands inside Lake Orion at the 43-yard line, where Stevenson will take over 1st and 10. Chris, we've talked in a lot of our broadcasts about field position, and Stevenson starts out with pretty good field position now.
Play that game. I always like to play it and force them to drive a longer field, and you're right, Stevenson starts with great field position on Lake Orion's 43.
Single setback for Maxson in the gun. Throws right, complete to number 9, Tyler Sykes.
Tyler Sykes leads the team in receptions with 24. Has 626 yards on the year, averaging over 26 yards a catch. So he's certainly their go-to guy. Vogelmeyer does a nice job of making it stick just inside the 1st down marker.
Yeah, Maxson didn't waste much time getting that ball out this time. So 2nd and 2 on the 35. Maxson hands off to number 23, Trevin Botch. And the Dragons string it out well. Number 7, Alex Plourd on the stop, no gain.
They run to Brennan Rourke's side. Brennan's trying to string it out, and then you see Derek Williams, 42, come over the top, and Alex Plourd get off the block of number 3, Greg McDade, and holds them to no gain.
So 3rd and 2. Maxson in that little pistol formation, a 5-yard setup behind center. Double wing look for Stevenson.
They were moving up top, it looked
Maxson, complete to number 21, Robert Thompson. And he was nailed immediately. Number 58, Nick White, in on the tackle.
Just a simple slant route over the middle, and Maxson had just enough time, and Connor Grant slips down at his middle linebacker spot and could have gotten a hand up. He kind of slips as he's trying to jump for it, and sprung Thompson free for a 1st down.
Nick Booker in on the tackle for the Dragons. So 1st and 10 for Stevenson. 2 backs in the backfield. Now we got our wing right, number 23. That's Trevin Botch, and he's stopped in the backfield for a loss. Connor Grant in on the tackle. Nick Booker came in late. Bring up 2nd and 13. Ball's on the 28-yard line. Just under 8 minutes left here in the 1st quarter, no score. Trips look to the right. Number 11, Craig Bourne Jr., split left. Maxson to throw over the head of number 3, Greg McDade. Bring up 4th down.
Tell you what, we've said a couple times, Maxson's had guys open. He's just overthrowing them. And, the thing is, he open in the flats where he's got opportunity a couple times to go one-on-one with the defender, and they're just not completing footballs.
I'm sorry, it brings up a 3rd down and 13. Ball's on the 28.
You were just forecasting what was going to go on next.
I was forecasting. Right? Trips to the right. Come back.
Corral.
Get him. and he'll be short. It'll bring up a 4th down and 9 from inside the 20 or inside the 25-yard line.
Sykes on a little hitch screen and is relying on his wideouts up top to make a block downfield. He gets what he can get. You can tell early on they're trying to get their football to Sykes, number 9, number 3, McDade, guys that can make plays for him. And I don't blame him.
So 4th down and 9. Titans are going for it. Trips look to the left. Single set, wide out to the right. Throws incomplete. Dragons will take over. Number 3, Greg McDade, just never turned around and looked for the ball. Derek Williams on the coverage. Yeah, by the time he turned around, the ball was already over his head. So Dragons take over, 1st and 10 from their own 24. 7:28 left here in the first. 2 wide look for the Dragons. Double tight end, Jacob Miller's a lone setback. Zach Arnold comes in motion. Up the middle to Miller. He's up to the 30. Brought down by number 1, Sultan Faranbi.
In last week's game against Farmington, Lake Orion comes out very sluggish in the first, really quarter and a half. And they've finally got the ball to this kid right here, number 38, Jacob Miller. He runs the ball nice and hard. We've talked about it all year. Last week, 14 carries, 217 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Nick Sally had a good stand-up block on that run. Miller again, and he stopped at the 30 for no gain.
Miller runs into the Titans number 34, Dustin Carlin.
34, Dustin Carlin on the tackle. They're giving him a yard. It'll be 3rd and 3 from the 33. Again, bunch look for the Dragons. Jeremy King actually comes in and plays a tight end slot. Corey Esther on a wing left. Zach Arnold on the carry, and he got strung out short of the 1st down by about a yard. Tyler Sykes ran him out of bounds, and same thing. Stevenson did a good job of stringing it out, getting initial penetration, and Zach just didn't have any place to run.
Yeah, if Corey Esther stays on a little bit longer, he's able to probably secure that edge for the 1st down, but the defender came inside Corey just enough to kind of force Zach a little bit wide and out of bounds. He couldn't quite keep his balance on the sideline there. Big decision, big choice by Coach Bell right now.
Ball spotted on the 33-yard line. Dragons come out. 4 wide look, double wide, double slot. Miller's a lone setback. Esther in motion. And timeout called by Lake Orion. 6:23 left here in the first quarter, no score. And Chris, it looks like Stevenson is balanced on offense, but these two defenses are kind of a mirror image of each other. Both will string the play out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of, in that Mac Red over there, you see teams that can pound the ball, run the ball, and you need that perimeter speed. And so far to this point, obviously we're only 6 minutes or so into the game, 5.5 minutes into the game, but they've got the guys up front that so far that can hang with that Lake Orion speed, and that's what's going to keep you in football games. We've always talked about you can't teach speed. The key is how do you best utilize that speed and take advantage of it, and that's what Lake Orion's challenge is tonight.
Dragons come out, full house backfield. Delora to Miller, 1st down Dragons. Over the 35-yard line to the 36, 1st and 10.
What does that, if you're Coach Bell calling that play, what does that say to your offensive line? That he's got a ton of confidence in those horses up front to be able to move Stevenson and find a hole for a first down. That's a big confidence booster early in the game on your own side of the field.
And not only that, but Chris Lee, 5'10", 100 and not a lot, 179 pounds. Chris Lee gets the ball, but he had a great lead block, and as a reward for his great lead block, he gets the carry. Gets maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. No huddle look for the Dragons. Full house backfield. DeLaura, handoff, number 29, Dom Giovanazzo. He's got a first down over the 45, close to midfield.
A little quick hitter on the trap, and not even a trap, just a lead play, and Jacob Miller's leading. Somebody, defender gets a hand in Jacob's face, but Giovanazzo does a nice job getting a big first down.
1st and 10 for the Dragons. Miller up the middle, into Titan territory, down to about the 44-yard line. Gain of 7, it'll bring up 2nd and 3. You know, we said before, these are the kind of situation Coach Bell loves. Double wide, double slot. Esther in motion, handoff to Miller. And he's close to the first down. I think he's going to be about a yard short. Number 54, Colin O'Meara, in on the stop. I know there was a 70 number in there too. I think it was number 71, Ryan Hines, senior co-captain. So 3rd and 1 for the Dragons. Handoff to Miller, and he falls forward. You've talked about it before, that forward lean gets the first down.
Yeah, Shane Ciccone makes contact with Miller in the backfield, coming off the edge, and just doesn't hit him square enough, and Jacob's able to keep his feet moving, spin off, and are they going to have to measure for a first down?
They're going to measure. We called first down. It looked like he was well over the 41-yard line. So they'll come out and measure for the first down. First down. First down, Dragons. 4:06 left here in the first. No score.
You still got it.
Dragons are on the move.
The eagle eye from up here in the box.
Well, even the way he leaned forward, it looked like, and then they spotted the ball back. Dragons stay with a full house look. Jeremy King on a tight end on the left side. Chaz Miller, tight end on the right side. Handoff up the middle. Chris Lee, I believe, on the carry. Dom Giovanazzo on the carry. And he's got a gain of about 6 down to the 35-yard line. Dragons on the move. Giovanazzo again gets the ball. No, that was Chris Lee on the carry. 29-24. I can spot a first down, but can't make out between a 9 and a 4.
Yeah, they both came into the game tonight with the same number of carries on the season, 41. Go figure.
3rd down and 2 from the 33-yard line. Dragons go to the double wide, double slot look. Miller lone setback. Arnold in motion. Miller up the middle, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. Number 44, John Barr, senior co-captain, in on the stop for Stevenson. And he hit him right at the point of attack. Got a little help from his friends. Number 5, Carl Hoffner, in on the tackle. So it's another 4th and 1 for the Dragons. 2:30 left in the first quarter.
It's times like this where we talk about that be physical part, play physical.
First down, Dragons. Jacob Miller again, and again he was almost bent over at the waist hitting the line.
He was. A lot of white shirts in the Lake Orion backfield, but somehow Jacob finds a hole and knows just enough. It's like one of those dogs that can find stuff with their scent, their nose. Yeah. He just buries his nose and finds that first down marker.
He knows where the flags are. First and 10, double wing look for the Dragons. Esther in motion. He gets the carry, trying to get around right end, and he's got a good carry of about 7 yards inside the 25-yard line. Bring up second and short again for the Dragons.
There's that speed we just talked about all season long. Number 17, Corey Esther. There was a little bit of penetration by number 8, Stephen Pilarski, there, Stevenson's cornerback, and Chaz Miller was locked one-on-one, but that speed enabled Corey to get to the outside and get a gain of 6.
Double wing look for the Dragons. Miller up the middle, and he's got a first down. Dragons inside the 20 down to the 16.
Jacob came into this game 124 carries on the year, 951 yards, averaging a little over 7.6 yards a carry and 16 touchdowns. So he's had an outstanding year, and Coach Bell obviously wants to get the ball to his horse between the tackles.
Rob Dembowski on the stop for Stevenson. Zach Arnold on the carry, misses one tackle, gets around the corner, down close to the 10-yard line. He made number 24, Janon Daniels, just whiff.
Tell you what, Jeremy King, number 25, does a nice job on number 9 right here. Kind of pushing him wide, and right there, and Zach makes a nice cut up and inside, and got 2 Dragons doing a nice job downfield to spring a big play.
Second down, full house backfield. First back through is Dom Giovisano. He's down inside the 5. Got a first down and goal.
Just a little inside handoff to Giovinazzo, and again, another guy that's got a great knack for that first down marker.
John Yaglenski on a great stand-up block in there. Giovisano in. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons. And that was just pure desire got him into the end zone. 76 yards, 16 plays, 6-yard run.
Nothing fancy in that drive, just doing what Lake Orion does, and the nice combination of perimeter to inside running game and nice ball control drive.
Jeremy King on for the point after. Nick Booker will hold. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 4:24 left here in the first quarter. Dragons lead 7-0. I'm sorry, it's 42.4 seconds. So that was a good sustained drive by the Dragons, and it was all done on the ground.
All done on the ground. And last week against Farmington, Lake Orion had 332 yards rushing and 5 rushing touchdowns. So obviously they can do it. They've been doing it all year on the ground, and we certainly saw that in that drive.
DVD copies can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault.
Humboldt.
Ball's on the ground. Stevenson recovers on the 25-yard line. The Dragons must have seen something in Stevenson kick return and said, you know what, we're not going to kick to him, we'll pooch kick.
Well, they did. Trevon Bouch, number 23, had a nice big 95-yard touchdown kick return earlier in the season. So you're right. They've got the skill set in the back end there as a returner to bust one. So you're probably right, Doug.
So Stevenson takes over at their own 26-yard line. Maxon, a little screen off to number 23. I got to tape these rosters together. Number 23, Trevon Botch. He gets about 6, call it 7. Bring up second down.
Nice way to start for the Stevenson. The Dragons, providing that pressure. Titans have been throwing the ball quite a bit, and how do you counteract that pressure, that pass rush? You throw a little screen.
3 wide look, 2 backs in the backfield. Bosch gets the call, and he stopped pretty much, maybe a half-yard gain. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. And that will probably, Nick White on the tackle for the Dragons. That'll probably be the last play of the first quarter. And it is. After 1, Dragons lead 7-0. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television.
You just got your bell rung. You're okay. Get back in the game.
Guess what? If you got your bell rung, you're probably not okay. You've probably sustained a concussion, and going back in the game just might put your life in jeopardy. Safety comes first in high school sports, and everyone should learn the signs and symptoms of concussions. Visit the MHSAA website to learn more.
Just at the start of the second quarter, Lake Orion Dragons with a late touchdown in the first to take a 7-0 lead. Winds picked up a little bit. Again, it's out of the northwest. The flag is fluttering pretty good. Should only hold up kicks probably to the north end. It'll take anything from the south end, push it right to left, and vice versa to the north. So Stevenson comes out, 3rd down and 3 from the 34-yard line. Maxon at quarterback. Little quick toss. Got a 1st down, out 2. Did you catch a number on that?
Number
one?
9. Number 21.
Number 21, Robert Thompson, for the 1st down. Just a little quick seam.
That's all they needed is Brandon Clements, the safety, was sitting standing pretty high off the slot, and they just looked at him as being an uncovered receiver, throw a little hitch screen to him, and for a 1st down.
Number 23, Trevon Bosch on the carry. He's close to a 1st down, and now they say he does have a 1st down. Stevenson starting to kind of find a little rhythm here, both in the air and on the ground. 1st and 10 from the 48, just inside Dragon territory. Double wide to the left, single wide out to the right. Backs in the eye in the backfield. Maxon overthrows number 34, Dustin Carlin. Brandon Clemens came in on the coverage for the Dragons.
Carlin, their fullback, is coming out of the backfield on that play, and I think if Brandon Clemens looks up at the play, looks at the ball, he might have a shot at taking it the other way.
2nd down and 10. That looked bad. Half the offensive line moved except the center. False start against Stevenson. Back him up 5 yards, repeat 2nd down.
Look bad if you're a Titans fan, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Looks bad if you're an offensive line coach. They always say that the defensive guys just look at the ball. Well, the offensive guys can look at the ball too. I don't know if they got fought out by their own quarterback's hard count. So 2nd and 15 from the 47. Double wide left. Backs in the I formation in the backfield. Maxim throwing deep and overthrows number 3, Greg McDade. And Brandon Plord on the coverage. Alex Plord. Yeah,
they're going to look back at this play, and number 9, Tyler Sykes, went back to the huddle and since it said to Kyle Maxson, the quarterback, look at number 21, Robert Thompson, who ran a backside post wide open. I would guess if Stevenson saw that, they're going to go back to that at some point in time.
4 wide look for the Titans. Maxson in the shotgun. Back to throw, got pressure, and he's going down. Nick White came in. Nick Booker came in on a safety blitz, and Maxson didn't have a chance.
You know, he didn't, because Brennan Rourke, number 30 on the bottom, and number 42, Derek Williams, do a great job of making sure your pass rush lanes are attacking the back shoulder of the quarterback. As long as the outside guys attack the back shoulder of the quarterback, that forces Maxson to step up into the pocket where Nick White can finish off the sack. Well done.
Wobbly punt, fair catch called by Jacob Miller at the 35-yard line. Dragons will take over 1st and 10 from there. 10:06 left here in the second quarter. Delora leads them out. Double wide, double slot look for the Dragon. Corey Esther and Zach Arnold in the slots. Jeremy King and Chaz Miller wide. And Jacob Miller goes right up the middle, met at the line and dropped. Number 50. Okay, they said Gerald Fisher, and I'll say him because Quintarius Peoples is a little tougher to pronounce.
Yeah, Quintarius was number 50, was right in there on the stop. Yep, no question. He's a big kid. 6'1", 295.
Yeah, 6'1", 295. Delora to throw, going deep for Chaz Miller. He's got it. Breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle in the open field, and he's going to go. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons. "65 yards, 2 plays, 65-yard pass from Derek Delora to Chaz Miller." And Chris, there he used his size and his speed.
You know, he did it last week. There was an 80-yard touchdown pass from Delora to Miller just before the half against Farmington, and you take advantage of that height and speed like we've talked about all year long. Actually, number 9, Tyler Sykes, had pretty good coverage on him. It's just a matter of size and want, and Chaz went up and got it and then did the rest with his feet.
Jeremy King tacks on the extra point. 9:23 left here in the second quarter. Dragons up 14-0. We'll go again and remind you that DVD copies can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. That's DVD copies, 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060.
Pretty good success. Lake Orion first pass. One pass, one catch, one touchdown.
That's a heck of a quarterback rating.
We'll take it.
Jeremy King set to kick off. He only lines up about 4 yards deep, and Fuchs, and he made a fair catch call. The ball went off his hand, and they're going to call it a touchback. Number 44, John Barr, a senior co-captain, signaled for the fair catch, and the ball went off his hands and went into the end zone before a Dragon could get there to touch it.
His body was positioned poorly in that. You want to do that. You want to keep that ball in front of you. He was trying to catch the ball with his hands at about head height, and it bounced off his hands. And fortunately for Stevenson that time, it did bounce into the end zone.
Yeah, you want to back up and catch the ball in front of you. So 1st and 10, trips to the right, single setback. And number 23, Trevon Botch, goes nowhere. Gets dropped for a yard loss.
Number 58, Nick White, in on the stop. Watching from the defensive end position, untouched off the backside. The tackle blocks down. Nick White comes nice and tight off that down block and makes a tackle in the backfield.
2nd down and 12 from the 18. 3 wides to the right. Maxim got pressure. He's going to run and eludes one tackle. Gets a 1st down before Nick White runs him out of bounds. Ethan Groh had him dead to rights, and he just stepped away from him.
Here's the penetration you see right up front. He slips up inside, and there's a nice hole. And then right there, you're right, Groh's got a chance to get him. Derek Williams has got a chance to get him. Nice block by Stevenson White out downfield. And White just continues his relentless pursuit and finishes him off out of bounds.
Yeah, Ethan Groh actually got blocked by Derek Williams. So 1st and 10 for Stevenson, double wide to the left. Up the middle to Bosch. And he had a good head of steam, but he got met at the line and dropped after maybe a 2-yard gain.
He did have a good head of steam. There was also a cutback lane back to this backside here. You're right, there was a good surge by the Stevenson offensive line. There's a cutback lane right there, but doesn't see it and runs into, who is that there?
Is that Nick White again?
Hard to tell on that.
So 2nd down and 7 from the 33. Backs in an I formation next to Maxim. Throws a little swing pass, and I think that was intended for number 9 Tyler Sykes, and number 21 Robert Thompson went up to get it, and he tipped it away.
You know, I don't know if Maxon's not getting his feet set. He's feeling the nervousness, the pressure. I don't know, but he's sailed so many balls tonight over his wide receiver's head. I don't know if he's getting a good grip or the cold air is having an effect on the way he's gripping the ball. Who knows? But he's not looking like the Maxon I saw on film this entire week.
Trips to the left, single wide out to the right. Maxim. Pressure again. He's going to run, and he's dropped from behind. Number 43, Josh Sutton, came up, caught him from the rear, and brought him down. So that brings up another 4th down for Stevenson.
Sutton's being held, and he still continues his pursuit and makes a play. That's a great effort. Great effort. That's what you want to see.
Jacob Miller, Nick Booker back deep for the Dragons. End over end punt. And it's going to take a bounce and end up at the 41-yard line. Dragons will take over 1st and 10 with 7:05 left here in the 2nd quarter. Just when it looked like Stevenson was going to get a rhythm, an incomplete, like you said, incomplete pass here, a high pass, tip pass,
sack.
And,
that they want to throw the ball, and that's what we talked about, trying to make them Stevenson one-dimensional. And so far to this point in time, Dragons have done a nice job of doing that, keeping their passing game not as much of a threat.
Corey Esther on the run. He's got a seam. He's into Stevenson territory over the 45-yard line, down to the 42.
That is the edge that we're talking about, making sure the perimeter blockers do a nice job on the edge, allowing the speed to open up, and did a great job that time of
we got
getting a big 1st down.
Play stoppage, timeout by Stevenson. During this timeout, We'll remind you, don't miss any Dragon sports action. Tune into replays of Game of the Week exclusively on Orion Neighborhood Television. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Saturdays at 1 p.m. I've been reading this all season long for replays of the most current games in our lineup. Be sure to check out our program guide at orionontv.org for other replay times that best fit your viewing schedule. That's Game of the Week only on ONTV.
It's a second season for us, too, you know.
Yeah, it is. We have not as many things to read, different things. Actually, this place looks kind of empty without all the TV news vans and everything else that we had here 2 weeks ago. Zach Arnold on the inside. He's gone.
Untouched.
Touchdown.
Untouched.
Lake Orion Dragons. Just a little inside trap play, and again, there's the speed. 42-yard touchdown run.
Go in motion with Chris Lee, and look at that. The hole right up the middle, untouched. No safety, no secondary help. Take it to the end zone for 6.
John Yaglinski not only blocked, he got his hands and knees and made it tough for a defender to get to Zach once he started his run upfield. Jeremy King, falls down, kick is up, kick is good. 6:51 left here in the second. It's now Lake Orion 21, Sterling Heights Stevenson nothing. 2 plays, 59 yards. That's a pretty good average.
Yeah, we've been talking about that all year. The quick strike offense of Lake Orion. They had a number of times last week. I want to say 3 times last week they had 1-play drives. They scored touchdowns. One was from 95 yards out. You know, a 2-play drive here. We've on and on and on. We've talked about how quick strike they are, and that's what makes watching Lake Orion football this year so exciting, because they've got the threat of outside perimeter, inside or outside run, perimeter run, inside run, and oh, by the way, they can go up top to a number 20 Chaz Miller. So we've seen a lot of it, a combination of a lot of offense tonight.
Pooch kick this time to the right side, taken by number 34 Dustin Carlin, and he's dropped on the 32-yard line, where Stevenson will take over 1st and 10.
The Titans begin this possession at their own 33-yard line.
Maxim brings him out. Try to set some of the offensive players for Stevenson. Number 81, Carl Robertson, in at a tight end. Number 9, Tyler Sykes, split wide left. Number 23, Trevon Bosch, in a slot left. Number 30, Jonathan Griffin on the carry. Had a little head of speed up, hit the hole, got about 4 yards. Another senior co-captain for the Titans. 2nd down and 6, 6:24 left here in the second. Maxon in the gun. Again, give to number 30, Jonathan Griffin, and he stopped just short of the 1st down. They've got him marked down on the 42-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
You see, you mentioned it just twice on this drive with Griffin carrying the ball, and then we've said it a couple times tonight. We've seen these big holes, and all of a sudden it looks like, you know, the Stevenson backs are going to get more, and then all of a sudden, boom, it closes down. There's a swarm of Dragon defenders around us, so they do a nice job of closing defensively.
3rd down and 1. Maxon in the shotgun. Low snap, got pressure. 1st down. thrown to number 81, Carl Robertson. You know, we didn't see Griffin in at a running back spot in the first quarter.
He's their second leading rusher this year, almost 400 yards, averaging a little over 4 yards a carry. But this time, Derek Williams does a nice job of getting the swing route with Griffin to the left side. But Maxon does a nice job of finding the sticks, finding his receiver, number 81, Robertson, for a first down.
Nick Booker took him out of bounds. 1st and 10 for Stevenson. Hand off to Griffin up the middle, and he's dropped after a yard gain. Number 30, Brennan Rourke, in on the tackle.
30 on 30.
30 on 30. Gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9 from the 45. One wide out to the right. 2 wideouts left. Single back in the backfield is Griffin. And play fake to him. Maxon throws. And it is a catch at the 41-yard line. First down for Stevenson. Mixing the run and the pass on this drive, Chris.
Yeah, that's the best ball I think Maxon's thrown. He threw it just over the linebacker's reach right there, and just inside on a little comeback route, just inside the sideline. Well thrown ball, a place where only Sykes could catch that ball. Titans first down.
Nick Vogelmeyer on the tackle for the Dragons. Play fake, Maxon's going deep. He's got number 3 and just broken up by Nick Booker. What a great job on getting over and breaking that pass up.
Right idea. If Stevenson's going to get back in this game, they've got to start getting the ball to number 9, Sykes, number 3, McDade. And Lake Orion's in their cover 2 defense at that point. And number 7, Alex Plord, is in the coverage. And that ball hung up. Maxon hung that ball up so much it allowed Booker to come on over, make a play on it, knock it down. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Titans.
Double wide, double slot look for the Titans this time. Single back, Griffin next to Maxon. Maxon going deep again. Nick Vogelmeyer over this time to knock the ball away from number 3, Greg McDade.
And that was a situation where Maxon just drops back, and Vogelmeyer did a nice job of pushing the wide receiver closer and closer to the sideline, making it a very difficult ball for Maxon to complete. All right, the wide receiver's job is to push that defender up inside, really towards the top or bottom of the numbers, so he can maximize the amount of space that he's got to catch that go route. But Vogelmeyer did a nice job of pushing the wide out to the outside, making a tough ball to complete. Incomplete, 3rd down.
And he also never really turned around. He watched the receiver's eyes for the ball. Maxon going deep again, hanging the ball up, and incomplete. So that'll bring up a 4th down for Stevenson.
Interesting, those last 4 plays, really last 3 plays, just go routes on the outside. 2 down here to the left side of the formation and 1 to the right side, trying to maximize the speed and trying to get the ball to their stud wide receivers. I don't know if it's a matter of trying to tell Lake Orion you got to stay honest and open up some stuff underneath as a result of them throwing deep. I don't know, but luckily for Lake Orion, they didn't convert.
Number 20, Nick Miernick, is the punter, and he gets a nice punt. Can be downed at the 5-yard line, where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. So Dragons take over, leading 21-0. 3:55 left here in the second quarter. And Chris, here, I don't think it's a matter of really looking. You know, of course you want to score, but you want to get out of the shadow of your own end zone. Get a little field position out there.
I mentioned last week Lake Orion was in the same situation in the second half on the 5-yard line. One play, Jacob Miller, 95 yards for a touchdown. So it can be done. That's one way to get out of the shadow.
Derek Delora leads him out. Double wide, double slot look. Corey Esther gets the ball. He's got a seam. He's got open territory. And he's up over the 30, and that's how you do it. 25 yards on first down.
Jacob Miller, Chris Lee, Spring, Corey Esther for a nice gain, and Corey does a nice job of securing the football as John Daniels comes and makes a tackle.
Esther again, and this time he's tripped up at the 36-yard line. Gain of 5, bring up 2nd and 5. Yeah, how great is that to see the backs in there blocking for the slot guys, the receivers blocking for the backs.
They take a lot of pride in it, and that's what springs them. As a wide receiver coach, we always talk about creating touchdown blocks. Well, that's what our slots are doing as well, and our backs are doing on the edge.
Zach Arnold, he's got the edge. He's got a first down, and up to the 45-yard line, and a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think they're gonna call Corey Esther for the hold there, number 17.
While we have this minute, we'll set our officiating crew. They're a crew from actually out of Troy, but they work a lot over in the far east side of the state. Dennis Waddell is the referee. Tim Curtis is the head linesman. Brian Hopp is the line judge. John Folsky is the umpire. And Cecil Haggard is the back judge. So referee Dennis Waddell will give us a call on the penalty. They're having a conference right now.
Awful long one, I'll say.
Yeah, it is. The way that the umpire is pointing, it's against Lake Orion.
Whoa.
So we'll get the call.
What is this?
What's going on here? Holding?
The penalty is holding against the offense.
That's a spot foul. Dead ball, personal foul against Lake Orion. 2nd down. Wow.
That's one way to get you back into the shadow of your own end zone.
Yeah, no kidding. One had to be, the holding was a live ball foul. Then the personal foul had to be was a dead ball foul. Zach Arnold up the middle. He's back. He got all the penalty yardage back, and he's up to the 29-yard line. I'm sorry, 32-yard line. 3rd down and 8 for the Dragons. 2:30 left here in the 2nd quarter. Chris Lee comes in. Zach Arnold checks out. Derek Delore calling out the play at the line. Double wide, double slot. Corey Esther comes in motion. He gets the carry. He's got room. He's got a first down.
Wow. Jazz Miller, number 20, is on Stephen Pilarski, number 8. Defensive back, 5'9", 6'7", going against 5'9", down here at the bottom of your screen. And doing a nice job of blocking or, I don't know, holding or taking his helmet off, whatever. But they didn't call it, and needless to say, first down for the Dragons.
Delora back to throw, got pressure, got Corey Esther at midfield, into the 40, cuts free, inside the 30, cuts again, and down at the 20-yard line. he kept finding open space until, was that number 17, Jared Fisher, that just laid a lick on him?
Derek does a great job of keeping his feet active and keeping his head and eyes up and downfield when he feels pressure, just dumping it off to Corey on the crossing route. And then Corey does what he does best in the open space. And he looked like he was taking on the defender up top and never saw the defender to his left. Bam! Big tackle by number 34.
That was,
Dustin Carlin.
Off to the left side, Zach Arnold gains about 7. Brings up second down. Yeah, you've got a guy that was on the state championship track team, got run down by a 6', 197 junior linebacker. So 2nd and 6 from the 17. DeLaura going deep. He's got Chaz Miller, touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons. Wow. How about this? 95 yards, 5 plays, and you included a 25-yard penalty in it.
All the time in the world there. Derek does a nice job of, again, taking advantage of the matchup on the edge. And you saw Chaz Miller earlier in that drive block on number 8. Stephen Pilarski, this time he takes him one-on-one and ton of separation at the line of scrimmage. Go up and get it. Touchdown, Lake Orion.
Ball is down, kick is up, kick is good. 1 minute exactly left here in the second quarter. Lake Orion's opened up their lead to 28-0. So the Dragons will set up to receive.
Quick strike again.
Quick strike again. Jeremy King will tee the ball up on the 40.
I'd like to know their percentages are success rate as where they are in the part of the field and what their percentage success rate of scoring when they start inside their own 20. I would say it's pretty high.
Pooch kick down, ball's on the ground, picked up and dropped at the 21-yard line is number 34, Dustin Carlin. He did the same thing as was done earlier, tried to catch the ball above his head. And he actually, as he backed up, he ran into number 12, Jeremy Goodson, and the ball came loose and went on the ground. So Stevenson takes over with 53.7 seconds left on the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. Double wide, double slot look for the Titans. Single back in the backfield. Hand up, number 23, Trevon Bosch. And he's up just over the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I'm going to say it again, too. Again, that time Bosch running the football, and you see it a hole right about there. And then all of a sudden it just closes down, and there's 3 defenders, Lake Orion defenders right around it. And that, I think, is where we're seeing a difference tonight in the speed. And we said you can't teach speed, and you're seeing, at least from up here, you're seeing a big-time difference in the speed between the two teams.
Ethan Groen on the tackle. Hand off again to Bosch. He's up over the 30, close to a first down. At the 32-yard line, he's going to be about a half a yard short. And we're not going to get a playoff. That's the end of the first half. Your score, Lake Orion 28, Sterling Heights Stevenson 0. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
The source for high school sports in Michigan has gone mobile. You can now access all the great features of the MHSAA website from your smartphone. You can find directions to a school, check out blogs, news, and podcasts, keep up with your favorite team, and even submit scores when you're at a game. MHSAA mobile apps are now available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry. It's all part of the MHSAA family of websites.
It's halftime of the pre-districts, they call them, of the 2012 MHSAA Division I playoffs. Lake Orion leads the Sterling Heights Stevenson Titans at the half, 28-0. Chris, you got halftime stats?
I do. Team stats for Lake Orion: 10 first downs to Stevenson 7, 204 rushing yards to Stevenson's 36. Passing yards 115 to 53. Derek Delores 3 of 4. Their quarterback Kyle Maxson 7 of 18. They had 4 punts. Stevenson did. Lake Orion just had the 1 punt. Each team had 2 penalties. For Lake Orion, individual statistics: number 5, Zach Arnold, 6 carries, 80 yards. Corey Esther, 6 carries, 61 yards. Dom Giovinazzo, 4 carries for 30 yards. Chris Lee, 2 for 3 yards. And Jacob Miller, 10 carries for 30 yards. Dom Giovinazzo has the 1 touchdown. As I mentioned, Derek Delora, 3 of 4 for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. Who has those 2 touchdowns in the air? Chaz Miller, 2 receptions, 82 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Corey Esther has the other catch for 33 yards. For Sterling Heights, Stevenson, individual statistics. They are led at halftime by number 23, Trevon Bouch. He's just got 8 carries for 20 yards. Jonathan Griffin, 3 carries for 10 yards. And then Kyle Maxson, 3 carries for 6 yards. As I mentioned, he's 7 of 18 in the air for 53 yards. Who has those catches? Number 9, Tyler Sykes, 3 catches for 26 yards. And 21, Robert Thompson, 2 catches for 18 yards. Number 23, Trevon Bouch, 1 for 7. And then number 81, Thompson, 1 carry for 2 yards as well. So those are your halftime statistics. The statistics kind of tell the story, too, on the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, and looking at the play charts of the first half, both sides had a 3-and-out to start the game. Stevenson ran an 8-play drive, turned it over on downs. Lake Orion got the ball back and went 76 yards in 16 plays with Dom Giovinazzo's 6-yard touchdown run. They turn it right back to Stevenson. They go 7 yards and punt. Lake Orion, 2 plays, 65-yard touchdown. Stevenson gets the ball, turns it back over to Lake Orion, 2 plays, 45-yard touchdown. So Lake Orion not only has been able to sustain a drive with a 16-play drive, but they've also had the quick strike. Kickoff taken by one of the up by Nick Booker. He's cutting back to the far side of the field, got some green grass, turns the corner, and up over the 30-yard line, close to the 35. Lake Orion will take over, 1st and 10. They're going to call it about the 30, let's call it the 33-yard line. Yeah, watch Nick Booker. Look at, he cuts across. Number 18, Gary Reynolds, got away with one there because he had a block in the back that wasn't called.
Well, if you're Stevenson, you got to go. You went in at halftime. Hopefully, made some adjustments. You got to find a way to force turnovers, get the football back, get short fields, put some points in the scoreboard. If you're Lake Orion, obviously you're trying to put one more on the board to get that running clock going in the second half.
Double wide, double slot look for the Dragons. Jacob Miller, lone setback. He gets the carry up the middle, up to the 35-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down. Chris Lee checks in. Zach Arnold checks out. Coach Darren Tooley and I believe junior varsity coach Ron Slawinski are down signaling in the plays tonight. 2nd down. Esther goes in motion. He gets the carry coming around the right side, cuts upfield, and dropped pretty much for no gain. So it'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the Dragons from the 38-yard line. And again, there's what you're talking about right now. It looks like those are the halftime adjustments made by Stevenson. Dragons switch to a trips to the left. Chaz Miller lone wide out to the right. Delora back to throw. Setting up a screen to Miller. He sheds the first tackler. Got a first down. Over the 45-yard line. Well-developed screen by the Dragons.
It was. They had trips to this wide side of the field, and they just sent the 3 receivers down to clear out the area. And penetration from number 17. A nice dump off from Delora to Miller. Nice open field move on that defender number 3, Greg McDade. And Jacob Miller, again, has that nose for the first down marker.
He does. 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Double wide, double slot look. Esther again in motion. Zach Arnold gets the handoff up the middle, gets about 2. They've got him marked just shy of the 50.
We talk all the time about the perimeter speed that we have, Lake Orion has, but at the same time, the backs are very patient. They know when to make cuts. They've got good vision. They're able to stick that foot in the ground and go north when they need to. So Zach was very patient there and looked like was going to get bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. Ends up getting 3 out of the play.
Bunch formation for the Dragons. Tight formation. Esther on the carry. Trying to cut upfield, and he's not going to be able to do it. He gets dropped for no gain. Tackle made by, where'd my roster go?
John Barr, number 44.
Thank you. John Barr, number 44 on the tackle. So 3rd down and 7 for the Dragons from just shy of midfield. Derek Delora wants the plays run in again. We'll watch the back judge. He's signaling 10 seconds left. Esther swings wide. Delora to throw. Throws deep. Wow. Jeremy King took it away and inside the 5-yard line. Number 9, Tyler Sykes, and Jeremy King went up for the ball, and Jeremy King just took it away from him.
Nice bootleg coming out to the left-hand side, and Derek's got some pressure coming backside, and he turns and throws it up to King, and you're right. King had the position on Sykes. He got the inside. Sykes is trying to prevent the deep ball. The ball was thrown just a little bit underneath, which allowed King to go up and meet it inside. He had Sykes boxed out on the backside. Big first down for the Dragons.
1st and goal from the 8. Number 29, Dom Giovazano on the carry. He gets it inside the 5. It'll be 2nd and goal. Dragons, full house backfield. Delora calling the play at the line. Dropped the ball. Looks like he got it back and stumbled forward for about 2.
You know things are going your way when that happens.
Oh, when the ball bounces right back up to you. Sure enough, he fumbled the snap. It was to him.
Giovinazzo bumps into him. Looks like he was going to be getting the ball, but bumps into him and bumps Delora forward for a couple yards.
That's as quarterback. You just take a deep breath and go, wow. So 3rd down and goal from the 2. Full house backfield. Chris Lee, Dom Giovazano, Jacob Miller. And the Dragons are going back 5. False start on the Dragons. We'll repeat 3rd down.
That's one of those frustrating things as a coach. You try to rush to get the other team to be not set or ready to go, and then you throw your own team off, and that's a frustrating thing. I know that's one thing they work on quite often down here in the goal line, getting those guys set, getting those guys ready to get off the ball quick to force the defense to maybe not be ready. But again, that time they forced the Dragons to not be ready.
Full house backfield again. Delore to throw. Got it complete to Chris Lee. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons. Chris Lee went out on the right flat, and there was nobody there.
There was somebody in Delore's face on the backside. Number 71 of the Titans, Ryan Hines, came and provided the pressure, and Delore just did a nice job of getting the ball off in ample time, right in his backfield. Jacob Miller does a nice job of picking it up late, and Delore felt the pressure but got the ball off in time for touchdown.
Nick Booker will hold, Jeremy King to attempt. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 6:48 left here in the 3rd quarter. Dragons 35, Sterling Heights Stevenson nothing. Since we are we will now start the point differential rule. That is anything with a point differential of 35 points or more, we start a running clock. And the only time the clock will stop is for timeouts, injuries, penalties, or scores. You run out of bounds, the clock will keep running. Incomplete pass, clock will keep running. 67-yard scoring drive in 9 plays for the Dragons. Jeremy King pooches it right. Comes down, number 34. Dustin Carlin takes it on to 30 and brings it up to about the 40, where Sterling Heights will take over 1st and 10. So, and again, we've talked about this before. When you're on the other end of the running clock, you want to try to score quickly, but that clock is just working against you all the time. So Maxim still the quarterback. Handoff, number 30 Griffin, and he's up near the 35. Derek Williams in on the tackle, and number 15, Connor Grant, in on the tackle for the Dragons.
Travis Hill forces the cutback right here, and the backside, Nick Whiteover pursues, but Derek Williams does not, and is able to track down Bausch for about a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7 from the 43. Maxim in the shotgun. Back to throw. Throws over the middle, and it's low. Intended for number 9, Tyler Sykes. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 for Stevenson.
Little play action fake, and Sykes ran a nice comeback route, but again, a ball that was thrown this time low by Maxim.
He didn't have a lot of pressure on him.
No, he didn't.
3rd down and 7. Back to throw again. Got pressure, gets out of it, and he's got a 1st down and more down to the Lake Orion 43-yard line. That time Maxon just slipped the pressure, found a hole, and got the 1st down.
Yeah, from here it almost looked like a designed quarterback draw in that he was just sending his wideouts downfield, and he look up once and try to force the backers and the secondary to hold and run that little draw play. Eluded Derek Williams for a 1st down.
First and 10. Ball's given to the tailback, number 23, Trevon Bosch, and he's up to maybe the 40-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 7.
You know, this is that situation you talk about the clock going against you. You know, now you're running the football. If you're Stevenson, you got to move the ball in chunks now. You can't afford these 2, 3, 4-yard gains.
Ethan Groh on the tackle. Bosch again around the right side. And he's dropped. Number 21, Connor Grant. Number 7, Alex Plourde. Number 58, Nick White, all in there. And you're right. I mean, they're getting 3, 4 yards, but now they've still got a 3rd and 1. Third and 1. Tight formation for Stevenson. Bosch gets a tackle, or gets the carry, and it looks like he's got the first down. And again, ordinarily they'd be stopping the clock to reset the chains on first down. But again, we're inside 3 minutes of the third quarter already. Timeout called on the field. It's an official's timeout. They're going to measure. I think he's got it. I think he's got it by half a football.
Let's see how good you are this time.
Well,
I just got new glasses on Saturday, so I'm just trying to get used to myself. I got to get to. Are you going to be right? Half a football?
No, it's going to be maybe he's going to be short. Maybe 4 or 5 inches short, so it'll be 4th and less than a yard for Stevenson. And this is a big conversion for them. If they have any hopes of getting back into this game at all, they got to convert this first down. 2:40 left here in the third.
Yeah, they're bringing their heavy personnel in.
Bosch is still the tailback. Griffin split out on a wing right. Bosch gets the toss. He's being strong. Ooh. It's going to be close.
I don't think he got it based on the way the line.
The way the head linesman came in, I don't think they got it. They had to get to the 42, and even the line judges walking in at the I'm sorry, I keep saying the 42. It's the 33.
Interesting play call. They decided to run toss to the outside, and I just we talked about it at length, but the closing speed of Orion, there's a big...
Oh, they're going to be short. It's dragging.
There's a big difference.
They lost yardage on that.
Big difference in team speed. That's a prime example of seeing it. That's why I think the play call is interesting. You got less than a half a foot, like you said, half a football to go, and they decided to run on the perimeter and the outside.
So Dragons take over on downs. 1:40 left here in the third quarter. Dragons up 35-0. Dragons come out in the double wide, double slot look. Corey Esther comes in kind of on a wing left. Zach Arnold in motion. Jacob Miller up the middle, spins free. He's got a first down. Good hard running over the 45 to the 46-yard line.
I was joking at halftime with the guys that got the stats from about it. Gee, was Jacob Miller taking the night off? He's only got 10 carries for 30 yards. And believe me, I was joking because he's doing a great job blocking on the perimeter. And you saw right there how hard he's working, even being up 35-0 in the third quarter.
We've watched him for 3 years, and he never takes a day off.
Yes.
Number 44, Matt Krause on the carry. He's got a first down. We heard a little bit about him in pregame. They really like this kid, but we got a flag on the play.
Yeah, Krause is a sophomore. They brought him up last week. He scored Lake Orion's last touchdown last week against Farmington.
We'll get the call from referee Dennis Waddell. Can't miss referee Dennis Waddell. He's a tall guy. Personal foul against Lake Orion. So that'll back him up 15. It'll remain first down. And I couldn't tell what the...
Jeremy King down here on the bottom. When I saw it live, it's hard to tell there, but when I saw it live, it almost looked like a chop block, or a cut block, I should say, on the perimeter. And
yeah,
high school football, you can't do that.
The way we saw the Stevenson player go down, yeah, you're right, it looks like that. And this will be the end of the third quarter. Very quick third quarter. After 3, Lake Orion 25, Sterling Heights Stevenson 0.
Yep.
We're back. Start of the fourth quarter. Lake Orion up 35-0 over Sterling Heights Stevenson.
DVD copies of tonight's game can be purchased, and I know you want to watch this one, assuming this score remains the same, by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377. $10 can get you a copy of not only this game, but any event or covered by Orion Neighborhood Television. Call ONTV today. It's 248-693-3377.
The last we heard at the half, Utica Eisenhower was leading Warren Mott. So if this holds up, next Friday at 7 p.m., it'll be Lake Orion and Utica Eisenhower.
Down near the 47-yard line.
Jacob Miller on the carry, picks up 5. Jacob Miller checks out. Number 22, Austin Arnold, in kind of on a wing left. Zach Arnold gets the carry. He gets maybe 2.
Arnold goes toward the Titans.
And he got trapped behind the line, so it's going to be a third down and about 8 for the Dragons.
Loss of 2 yards to the 49.
Gerard Fisher, number 17, made a nice stop, and we've called his name quite a bit tonight. Big kid, defensive end for them, 6'3", 214.
We'll try to keep up with some of the changes for the Dragons. Zach Green comes in at a wide receiver spot. He's split right. Delora going for Zach Arnold. He's got it. And down at the 1. That's speed too. He kept up. And to give the defender credit, he had tight coverage on it, and Zach Arnold just went up and took it away.
You're right. You could see the speed right from the get-go in the slot. Zach's on the bottom. He's running right down the seam. They're running 4 verticals and the swing route out of the backfield. And the defender, number 24, Jadon Daniels, never gets turned around to see the football. And as a result, Zach goes up, meets it, and brings it inside. You're right, inside the 1.
First and goal for the Dragons from the 1. 10 minutes left in the ball game. Full house backfield for the Dragons. Number 44, Matt Krause, in. And a couple other players I can't get the name on. And Matt Krause got the carry. Stevenson is claiming they have the football. And in the meantime, the clock continues to run while they unpile. And Stevenson does have the football.
Don't know what happened in there. We'll maybe see it on the replay here, but a situation with a sophomore coming up. And, he just gets hit right away by looked like number 34, number 44. That's number 44, John Barr, made the contact just as Krause is getting the football, pops it loose, and Stevenson takes over. They've got 96 yards to go, though.
Yes, first and 10 from the 4 with under 9 minutes left. We'll try to set some of the changes in the Dragon defense now. I see. Number 3, Charlie Highland in at one cornerback spot. Nick Booker and Nick Vogelmeyer still in at a safety, and Connor Grant and Nick Booker still in at the safeties. Nick Vogelmeyer still in at one cornerback. Be second down and 10 from the 4. Handoff again off the right side. First down, Stevenson. I couldn't see who it was in the maze of bodies. Number 23, Trevon Bosch again. We've called his name a lot tonight.
Yeah, he's a good back. He's their leading rusher, as we said from the beginning, but does a nice job of securing the football, running hard, and getting a big first down for the Titans.
Connor Grant, Evan Groh, Nick Booker all in on the tackle for the Dragons. First and 10, ball's on the 19-yard line. Single back in the backfield, 2 wide look, 2 tight ends for Stevenson. Handoff to Bosch, swings it outside, and he's got about a 6-yard gain to the 25-yard line.
It's interesting.
Nick Booker on the tackle.
Titans started off the game throwing, and you know, we said Maxson was 7 of 18 at halftime, but a situation where they've stuck to the ground here in the second half. They haven't had the ball much, but they're getting the ball to their best running back, and there's that gang tackling, that swarming defense that we see out of the green and white.
Yeah, Charlie Highland, Nick Booker, number 21, Brandon Clements in. I haven't called his name a lot tonight. Second down and 3 for Stevenson. Going deep and dropped. The receiver, number 9, Tyler Sykes, had a step on Nick Vogelmeyer, and the ball came in. He just couldn't hold on to it.
Another time they start and throw the vertical passing game, trying to take advantage of their wide receiver. And you're right in Sykes' hand. It's a good ball by Maxson. You know, he's got to come up with that ball.
So that brings up third down and 4. Third down and 3. We'll call it this. The scoreboard's a little off kilter here. Number 23, Trevon Bosch on the carry. He's got a first down over the 30. They're going to call it, the line judge is right on the 30. He's got a first down. Tackled by Nick Vogelmeyer.
You're running outside. Give it to your best back and see what he can do with it. You know, it's interesting, down 35. There's not much of an urgency by Stevenson.
No, there isn't. And Maxson's going down. I don't know if that was a broken play, because it looked like he wanted to do a play action, but by the time he could step up, he had green all around him.
He did, and Derek Williams sets the edge, forces him back in, Maxson back inside, and by then you got, again, that swarm of Dragon defenders in and around. But it all stems from that securing the perimeter, and Derek Williams did a nice job of forcing that quarterback, Maxson, back inside to where the other rush is.
Josh Duncan, number 60, in on the tackle for the Dragons. So it's second down and 10. 2 wideouts to the left, I formation. Bosch gets the handoff. He's got a first down over the 40-yard line. They're going to call him down on the 44. So first and 10 for Stevenson with 4:10 left in the ball game. Dragons came up holding the ball. Number 14, James Benici, came up holding the ball, but Stevenson retains. First and 10. Bosch again, no gain, maybe a yard and a half. They're marking him down on the 45. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. 3.5 left in the game. And you're right, Chris, there's just no sense of urgency.
No, they just seem content to get out of here and get healthy. And you know what? Their season's over in 3 minutes, and just not seeing the urgency you would think you would see from the Titans.
Derek Williams checks out. Nick Booker checks out. Brendan Clements checks out. Kyle Bell's in at a safety spot. Number 19, Brad Chisholm, comes in at a safety spot. And we have a timeout on the field called by, looks like the Dragons.
Yes.
I think the scoreboard blew a fuse.
Well, I think it's maybe because there's so many points being scored on that side of the scoreboard this season. What do you think?
Yeah, the scoreboard's kind of worn out.
Tune in to Lake Orion's only live weekly sports talk show exclusively on ONTV. Watch Between Terraminas live Tuesday nights at 6:30 p.m. Tune in to see Sammy, Anthony, and Ian as they present their own twist on the sports news of the day. That's Between Terraminas live Tuesdays at 6:30 on ONTV.
So this is what we have. 3 minutes left in the game. Number 4, Christian James checks in at a corner position. Maxim back to throw over the middle and dropped. Oh my, he was wide open. Number 21, Robert Thompson, and he just flat dropped it. That doesn't help your effort very much.
No, it doesn't. Maxim throws a nice ball and crossing route. And it was one of the few times they've tried to throw the ball over the middle, and the times that they have, they've seemed to be open. So not sure why they haven't gone back to that a little bit more, but nonetheless, it brings up a 3rd and 8.
3rd down and 8, backs in the I formation, double to the left, single wide out to double wide out to the right, single wide out to the left. Maxim to throw. That's being called incomplete. The umpire, John Polsky, right there, ruled it incomplete. So 4th down and 8 with just over 2 minutes left to go. And Stevenson will go for it. Number 10, Nick Berner, checks in place of number 30, Jonathan Griffin. So a few changes in the offensive look for Stevenson as well. They're going trips to the right. Single back in the backfield. Maxim throws, caught. Number 10, Berner.
Incomplete.
And they call that incomplete. He had it in his hands and just let it go.
Yeah, miscue, I think, in personnel or route running, because there's 2 guys in the same area. But you're right. I guess it's kind of one of those situations where it just that's the way the whole night's gone for the Titans, and Lake Orion's going to take over and run the clock out here in this quick second half.
You know, he caught the ball and looked like he made the proverbial football move, and the ball came loose. But it's still 4th down, Dragons ball. So under a minute left. Dragons are going to victory, take a knee, which I think is every coach's favorite play. Kyle Bell comes in at quarterback. Maybe he's on here. Number 33, Zach Serzo, is the deep back. Bell takes a knee. And they're going to take their time blowing the ball in, and that'll do it. The Lake Orion Dragons will advance to round 2 of the MHSAA playoff, the district final, and they will play either Utica Eisenhower or Warren Mott. The last we heard, Eisenhower was leading, so we'll wait and see. That's the end of the game. Your final score, Lake Orion 35, Sterling Heights Stevenson 0. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television.